What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series new Ahsoka figures, of course, from the Ahsoka TV show. So first up here, we have Ahsoka from Peridea, as it's labeled, but her in her more Ahsoka the white costume there. Of course, has a lot of gray and stuff to it, but, you know, it's supposed to be the lighter costume, which looks pretty cool. That's always my favorite look for Ahsoka. So getting her as she appeared in the show from that is really cool. Looks like maybe her head tails are probably longer. Just we'll have to see the comparison compared to the old one with her white lightsabers. Then we also get Grand Admiral Thrawn, so awesome to get Thrawn as he appears in the show. Of course, the Lars Mikkelsen design. Now, unfortunately, we've already looked at this figure from the Masters of Evil 3-pack, so nothing really new here, just that one came with this calamari to go around his neck. So both of those look cool. And then we also have the Walmart exclusive 2-pack of Captain Enoch with the Night Trooper. So this looks really cool with our two Night Troopers. Of course, getting Captain Enoch looks pretty awesome. Love them with their gold armor and the red wrappings around it that we see on the Night Troop there. So that looks really cool. So we have that 2-pack to look at as well. And then we do also have the Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, the newer updated versions. I don't have the Shin Hati yet, but it will be here by the time of the video. So we'll be just checking out the updates and stuff and see what they changed, made different, if anything, about them besides coming with robes. But we'll just kind of compare those and see what has been updated with that. So we have Baylan and Shin to look at as well. So let me go and get these figures all open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Ahsoka from Peridea, who is in her more white robes, even though there's a lot of gray going on, but it's supposed to be her white robes, which the white robes symbolize her transformation after being resurrected or her rebirth. And of course, I read a thing that Dave Filoni based this off Gandalf, so going from Gandalf the gray to Gandalf the white is very similar to what he did with Ahsoka here. And overall, she looks good. Of course, this is my more preferred design for Ahsoka, just because I love it. Like I said, I wish it was more white, though, compared to a lot of this gray. So if it was more white, it'd be even more perfect. But still, I like this and prefer this more over her first figure, and overall looks pretty good. So Ahsoka, of course, is a Togretta, so she's going to have the orange skin with the nice face designs on there, which looks good. And of course, she has the big head tail pieces, so looks good there with mostly all the white design with the blue, so we get more points up here at the top, and then the tails coming down to the side, which I do believe look, like I said, a little bit bigger, at least just a different design compared to the first one with her headdress piece there. So it looks pretty good, you know, tails going down the back as well. Then we get her outfit, so like I said, it has a lot of gray. It's supposed to be white, so we do get some cream and color in there, like in the midsection and down on like the thigh pieces, but then it's a lot of gray, just different shades of gray with some blue mixed in, so a little more bluish gray off to the side, and gray with the straps and everything going around there, as well for her belt, straps on her arms, some nice sleeve things going up there with some armor attached on the top of those in a silver color with some fingerless gloves. Like I said, the belt there has part of her design, so I like the bead designs there wrapped around her belts with those paddings on the sides, very similar to what she had before, just different colors, and the baggier pants, which has a nice texture to it there, if you can see that, and like grayish color that matches with the boots, so the boots come down into more flat style boots and doesn't have the tabby shoe design like before, and more armor attached on there in silver. So it just looks pretty nice overall. Like I said, for me, this is the design I prefer much more, but I wish it was more in white. But for moments, we'll get her head to twist. Now, I doubt it'll twist all the way around because of her leg, but yeah, I can just twist a little side to side, look down that far, and look up that far again because of the back. So yeah, not a whole lot of range in the head, unfortunately, so you can't really do too much with that. But the shoulders will come up to 90 with the butterfly joint and rotate around. We get the single elbow to 90 with rotation, and the wrist will twist all the way around, and it has the hinge up and down for this hands. Of course, there's not a whole lot of range for movement, though, but it has the hinge in there. Then we get the ab cruncher, mostly at the waist there, crunch back and forth, and twist all the way around there as well. Then we get the hips that will come up to 90 and out to the side. And there is some twist in there, so you do get very minimal thigh twist up in that joint. Then we go to the knee joint that will bend back to 90 with rotation. And then we get the foot that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So not bad for the moons, of course, Star Wars, so we're going to get the single knees and elbows and all that. And then, of course, I just wish she had some more movements, like with her neck and everything, so we can get her more poses and all that, but we'll just have to deal with what she comes with. Now, accessory-wise, she, of course, comes with her two lightsabers, so she has the white bladed lightsabers now with the nice, more curved hilt design, so that's pretty cool. So let's put these in her hands. So there she has her two white lightsabers, and that looks really cool. So like I said, really like the design of this for Ahsoka. Love the white design overall. Now, of course, we do have that older figure where she's got the more darker colors. So you can see they, of course, changed them up, changed the skin design. I think this new one looks a lot better, more like Rosario Dawson's face and stuff. So, of course, looks really good. Changed the orange, make it more darker like I feel it should be. Like I said, the head design, yeah, the tails are a little bit longer and more pronounced up top, it seems like. Of course, changing up the headdress, which could just be with her outfit change and all that. But it does definitely definitely look a lot better on the newer one. And then of course the outfit design, very similar overall, has a lot of similarities between the two, just going from this darker bluish black color to the gray this time, and white and cream and all that sort of stuff. So like I said, both aren't bad, at least for me. Just really like this new one more than the other. So overall, not a bad Ahsoka to add to the collection. Like I said, I always like Ahsoka, of course, like a lot of people do, and I didn't mind the series at all. Not the best series ever, but I did really enjoy it. So I'm excited to have more figures from it, and nice to add Ahsoka the white version. And next up, we have Grand Admiral Thrawn, who made his first live appearance in the series, of course played by Lars Mikkelsen. Now, he's a male Chiss with blue skin and red eyes, and he was last seen aboard the Chimera with Ezra Bridger, surrounded by Purrgil that jumped into hyperspace, causing them to be lost for about 10 years, until Morgan Elsbeth discovered that Thrawn was on Peridea and built a massive hyperspace ring to travel to the distant planet, where she found him aboard the Chimera, surrounded by an army of night troopers that were created by the Night Sisters that lived on the planet. So overall, nice to get Thrawn in live action. Looks pretty good with the design. You know, obviously, especially he's played by an older guy, so he did have more of like a stomach and stuff. So not perfect with the look, but still voiced by the guy that voiced him in Rebels and stuff, which is pretty cool. So nice that that carried over. And I thought it was a pretty good representation of him overall. Now, unfortunately, this isn't the first time for us looking at this figure. We got him in that Masters of Evil 3 pack and already looked at it. So I will show that figure. You know, it's going to be pretty much exactly the same, but looks good for Thrawn with his blue skin. Again, so he is a Chiss species, so we get the blue skin and the creepy red eyes in there, and of course the likeness there of Lars Mikkelsen with his black hair all slicked back. Then we get his Admiral outfit, of course a part of the Empire, former Empire, so we get the all white outfit, nice from the collar all the way down, even the puffier pants going into the black boots that come up to his knees. He has a belt around his waist with a nice silver buckle and a holster off to the side. We get nice like gold shoulder pieces there, not sure what those are called, but nice piece there, and the code canisters on the side with his Admiral ranking badge there on his chest. Looks good overall for him. So nice design, like I said, pretty simple and basic character design to bring through, so not too bad. Just taking a human and painting him blue and putting him in the outfit is all you needed to do. But for his movements, we just had that twist all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far. So as you saw there, the neck twisted as well. So we get that piece, but it doesn't really offer any more up and down movements, unfortunately. Then we get the shoulders that come up to 90 and will rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint to 90 with rotation, and the wrist will twist all the way around with the hinge up and down for that hand. Then we go to the ab crunch at the waist, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. Then we get the hips that will come up if we go that side. Maybe do this side because it's got more of an opening to it. About the same, so only about that far and out to the side with a little bit of a thigh twist up in the joint. The single knee joint back with the rotation, and then the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So not bad for the movements. Again, basic Star Wars joint, so not that impressive, and we've already seen the figure before, so nothing new or out of the ordinary compared to the last one. But accessory-wise, the only thing he comes with is his little pistol, so the RK3 blaster pistol. So just the little gun there that we can obviously put into his hand, or we can put it into the holster here on his side, which will look good there, just hanging that. So there he's got his weapon as well. Now, as I mentioned, we already got this in the Masters of Evil 3 pack, so here is that figure. So again, as you see, looks pretty much the same. I don't really see any difference, so probably just complete reuse of the figure. The only difference this time is that they gave us the Salamari that came with it, so nice that you can have that around his neck, but otherwise, you know, looks exactly the same. Like there's no changes at all between the figures, and based off the same actor, so not from the comic or anything. So not bad for Thrawn. Like it is disappointing that we already got him in the Masters of Evil 3 pack, and this wasn't the first one, but still nice representation. Nice to add Thrawn in the collection from the show. And then we have our Walmart exclusive 2-pack of Captain Enoch and the Night Troopers, of course both Night Troopers. So we'll look at Captain Enoch first, which is the leader of Grand Admiral Thrawn's army while on exile in Peridea. And of course we see him wearing the Night Trooper armor, but his been more modified being the leader, so he has more design to him, where we do get the more gold faceplate and a lot of gold on him, since over the years the armor has been damaged, so they put it back together with the gold using the kintsugi method. So it looks good overall, and of course Enoch was the character that stood out as soon as it appeared. Like so excited to get that in a Black Series figure, wondering how they would do it. So we get the more Stormtrooper inspired helmet design and all that, or armor and everything design, but then we get the faceplate on there, which looks pretty cool. So of course looks like something out of the movie 300 or something, with the faceplates there all in gold and the blacked out eyes. But then we get this Stormtrooper helmet, at least for the most part, like in the front here, has a different design with the gold. But we can see where the armor's been all split, like the helmet has been all split and put back together with the gold and stuff. Some gray thrown in there as well. Get the two Empire logos there up top. So it looks good. It has the black body glove underneath, and again, the Stormtrooper armor on top of that. That's been put back together. So full gold shoulder plate, big chunk of gold on this side, and again, all the lines run through it. All gold midsection, a big chunk of armor there in gold as well. Then we get the maroon color wrapping, so brought in by the Night Sisters. So we get that on the forearms there, brought down into the gloves, and then the waist. So we get the like waist cape comma there, and the maroon color as well with the holster off to the side. Of course, more Stormtrooper armor continuing down the legs with gold on the knee. Get the maroon underneath, and then the legs with a little bit of gold and gray built into it. So it looks pretty good overall, especially that face is what makes, of course, Captain Enoch stand out from all the other Night Troopers. So movement-wise, we get that'll twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far. Probably the best head movement we've had on the figures. Then we get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly joint back and forth, and we'll rotate all the way around. Of course, got to get that armor out of the way. Then we get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with rotation. Wrist will twist all the way around, and hinge looks like up and down for this hand. Then we get the ab crunch, so it has an actual like ab crunch, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around there. Then we go down to the hips, which not sure how much movements we'll get with the skirting pieces, but yeah, you just can't really get much movement. So just up a little there and out to the side. Feels like there's, a twist up in there. So we do have that twist cut out like normal for Stormtroopers. Then the single knee back with rotation, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So not bad, a little bit better range it seems like with this character, especially with the Stormtrooper body and all that compared to our others so far. And for his weapon accessory, we do get his gun of a modified SE-14M blaster with some gold on it as well. Of course, the match perfectly with his armor, so that looks good. Obviously, it can go into the holster, so we can just slide it down in the holster there for storage, but let's put it in his hand. So there's Captain Enoch with that gun ready to defend Thrawn. So really nice to get Captain Enoch, and of course we also get the Night Trooper from this pack. So Night Troopers are troopers serving Grand Admiral Thrawn that were energized or reanimated by the magic from the Great Mothers. And of course wear the damaged armors as well, put together with the Kintsugi form, so a lot of the gold, but they also have the red wrappings holding it together as well, and a lot of gray. So like for him, the full faceplate there is all gray, but with a lot of gold built in as well. And his mask just looks like the normal Stormtrooper, replaced out face, has the black body suit underneath, and again Stormtrooper armor. It looks more basic, looks like our basic normal Stormtrooper, just with the gold running through it, and then has the red wrappings all the way around it as well. Now I do believe with this form, at least specifically like with this look, this is exactly what Ezra was wearing when he took over an outfit of the Night Troopers and was sneaking around on board. So that you could use this if we had the older Ezra head with the beard and all that, we could easily pop this on here and have this as Ezra, but we just get this basic body for now. So looks pretty good overall. Like the design, love the look of the Night Troopers and everything from the show, so nice to get them in figure form. Now movement should be the same as Enoch, so the head will twist around, look down that far and up that far, so yeah, about the same. Shoulders come up to 90 with the butterfly, and of course rotate around. Get the single elbow joint to 90 with rotation, and then the wrist will twist all the way around and hinge, up and down for this hand. Get the ab crunch back and forth and twist around. The hips will come up, of course, since he doesn't have the comm on, his hips will come all the way up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist there, and the single knee joint back to 90 with rotation, and the foot will flex back and forth. Now his foot's real stiff, but it will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So yeah, exact same movements as Captain Enoch, so not surprising, just a little bit better range without the comma skirt on. So works out really nice for him as well. And since he is a Stormtrooper, he just comes with the normal E11 blaster in this more grayish color. So let's put this in his hand. So there's our Night Trooper with his gun now. So that's it for our Night Trooper 2-pack with Captain Enoch and a basic Night Trooper. Both look really cool. Love this. Now I wish it was more basic design like this other one so you could army build these. But of course with each Night Trooper look different, so I'm not sure how they would do that to make it army buildable unless you want a bunch of similar looking Night Troopers. But this 2-pack is cool where I got Captain Enoch and the Night Trooper. But I just wish they would have done something different so you could army build them. Now finally, as I mentioned, we're just going to take a look at these figures. We got them as well, the new Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati. So the Baylan Skoll Mercenary, that was a Walmart exclusive, and then Shin Hati, the Arcana version, which was a Target exclusive. Now we got these hoping that they'd be improved, like just something about them would be better. Now they do both come with these robes, and especially on Baylan here, I do really like his robe, because unlike most times I complain about when we get Star Wars characters with fabric pieces, his robe doesn't have a lot of material. It fits, pretty snug and everything around him, not a whole lot of extra material. And then we get a hood design that's made perfectly to sit on his head. Now, it's not absolutely perfect, but a lot better than we get most of the time with Star Wars characters. So you can have his hood up and it actually looks relatively decent. And the hood has this nice line around it, so it makes it sit all nice and everything. And like I said, you can sort of try and shape it there around his head and it stays a little bit. So it actually works out really nice. So I do like having this robe. So it's a nice green color, which looks cool. And like I said, just love having this robe thrown in. But for the comparison, we'll go ahead and just take the robe off. Now, I'm not going to do a full review of this. I just wanted to compare it to the other one. Like I said, I was hoping they'd make some difference and changes. You know, maybe make Baylan a little taller and Shin shorter, since she is shorter, but the figures, you know, relatively close in height. But I don't think they really did too much. I think it was mostly just the robes. Now, in Shin, I did notice more differences, but here's Baylan. So we have the older one here compared to the newer one. Not really seeing much differences. Maybe some difference in the skin tone, where this one's got more of a flesh color to it, where this one seems much more paler. Again, don't know if it's coming through the camera, but I can just notice that in real life. And everything else seems about the same. I'm trying to see if there's any color differences. Of course, like the what I call like patina look on him does seem a little bit different there, but that's just, you know, the different paint jobs and stuff. But everything else about it seems about the same. Looks like maybe the leaf or whatever there is on his belt is painted in a little better, but other than that, they're about the same, you know, same height and everything. So don't really get much difference at all with this. So we just get the robe really thrown in and some minor paint changes that's, you know, not really noticeable. Comes with the same lightsaber as well. So with the longer blade, with the more orangish blade, which we were able to get the orange colored blade in the first one, so that's not going to be a change for us either. So just get that. So like I said, really for them, the only difference is the robe, which like I said, thankfully with this robe, it fits really nice on them. So I hope Hasbro uses this and continues to use this sort of design going forward, just because it sits so much better on him. So we got Baylan with his lightsaber, then we'll bring in Shin Hati as well, which like I said, I was hoping they'd maybe make her shorter because she's not supposed to be this tall, especially compared to Baylan. So I was hoping they'd shorten her down some. But again, she has the robe, which has a very similar design, so it fits much more snug to her, which I really like that. It just doesn't have the design on the end of the hood, so it doesn't sit nearly as perfect as Baylan's did, but not bad at all. So like I said, just hopefully they use a lot less material like they did here for the characters, because it sits a lot nicer on them. But here we have the new Shin, again, the Target exclusive version compared to our old Shin. And there's not much difference. Like there is some minor color changes. Like I feel in the new one, they darkened up the colors a bit, like the chest plate and everything seemed a bit darker. Maybe changed up the shoulder pad, or at least the shoulder pad on this one was messed up or like smashed down compared to what it is now. And like I said, just some of the colors seem to be a little bit different. Like I said, darker on this newer one compared to the older one. And the face seems a little bit better. You know, they don't look too far off, but I think the new one looks a little bit better, but has the same hair design and all of that. So again, not really as much improvements as I was hoping for, so that's disappointing. So like I said, I wish they just shortened her down because she's a shorter person compared to everyone else. So it'd be nice if she was shorter in stature for the figure form. So again, another disappointment, so kind of wasted money, but I do like that she came with the robe and of course came with the lightsaber that has a little bit of the orange tint to it as well. So overall, it's not bad. Like especially if you didn't get the first Shin, this is definitely a good Shin because I do like having the robes, but it wasn't worth it to buy the figure once again to really only get the robe as a noticeable difference. So once again, disappointed that they didn't do more improvements on these figures, but they, like I said, the one thankful thing is that they did come with the robes that do sit on them nicely. They're not perfect, but a lot better than most Star Wars robes are. So that's be it for our Star Wars Black Series Ahsoka, what I'm going to call Wave 2 figures, where we got Ahsoka in the white form, Grand Admiral Thrawn, the 2-pack of Captain Enoch and the Night Trooper, and of course the updated versions of Baylan, Skoll, and Shin Hati. So all are pretty cool, really good figures. I think they all look really nice here together, especially love the Ahsoka and Thrawn. The Night Troopers both look really good. And like I said, for Baylan and Shin, they're really nice figures, so if you haven't had before, these are 2 good versions to buy. I just wish they had more updates. That was just my only hope with that. So unfortunately we didn't get that, but still not bad figures. So let me know what you thought of all these down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.